Let's see, let's hope this is recording. Well, let's hope it is. Not much I can do if it isn't. Got a new toy, the DJI Mic 3. And also today my gym membership is restarting. I had a trial period for 28 days. I attended the gym for most of that period. Not all of it, I do have to admit, I had a bit of a slip up. But overall I do still think I made pretty good use of it. Usually I go to the gym quite early. The ideal is 6 a.m. when the gym opens. It's usually pretty empty then. You get to choose which machine you want to use. You don't have to bother anybody. However, since the microphone came and I'm actually able to record within the gym now, I decided instead of waiting till tomorrow, I'll try to get something done today. Every single workout I start with a short cardio session. Nothing special, just something to get the blood pumping. Maybe 5 to 20 minutes, depending on how I'm feeling. Most of the time it takes about 10 to 15. Ironically, I heard a good measure of how intense your cardio is actually how much you're able to say while training. You're supposed to be training just intense enough that you can say a pretty short sentence, but you can't keep talking for long. So this seems like a pretty decent warm-up, especially after a break. I'll keep going for another 5 to 10 minutes, and then I'm gonna move to some more exciting stuff, some resistance training. Alright, so been going for a bit, about 30 seconds left. Average RPM a bit over 90. The heart rate monitors are broken, but from experience I'm assuming it's a bit over 140, maybe around 150 a minute. We're approaching the 10-minute mark, and the distance has just crossed 4.5 kilometers, and we're done. Whew. Pretty decent workout. I don't know how much sweat you can see. There's a lot of it. Even if you can see it, trust me, there's a lot of it. Whew. I need to find a paper towel. So, cardio is usually pretty hard on the legs. Usually I start with cardio, I end with cardio, but before starting my exit cardio and after finishing my entry cardio, I like to do a bit of upper body, just to let the legs rest a bit, keep it nice and equal everywhere. The only machine that was open when I was moving was the lat pull down, so that's what we're gonna do. Bit of warm-up weight, as I said before, it's my first session after a bit of a break. Oh, well, the bar is wrong. When it comes to the lat pull down, I like the nice, wide, long bar. Allows for a variety of grips. And you can do micro adjustments to your form to make sure you're hitting exactly the muscles that you want to. We're going to be doing pretty lightweight to start with, just to warm up, get back in the groove. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. The form is probably not perfect, but it's sadly all I'm working with. My upper body is definitely lagging behind my core and lower body, specifically my lower body. So I'm kind of forced to just do whatever I can. It's definitely not optimized, it's not very impressive, but eventually it's gonna make a difference, I have to hope. So now a short break and we're gonna bump the weight. The warm-up was at I was one set, 20 reps at 23 kilograms. Not much at all, but it is what it is. And we're gonna work our way up from there. Next attempt is gonna be 32 kilograms, more working weight reps. Usually I take breaks that are a bit longer. I want to make sure that the exhaustion from the last set is not affecting my next set too much. Today I'm gonna keep it a bit shorter. I want to wrap the workout up. As quickly as possible and keep moving. Okay, so another set, cable lat pull downs, 32 kilograms. Four, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 is what I like to do for working weight reps. It's not particularly tiring, it doesn't hit exhaustion too hard, but it gets the stimulus in. So, you know, the form wasn't great. We'll definitely have to work on that. But we got the 12 reps in with a bit of leftover strength. So I'm gonna bump the weight again, another 7 kilograms, from 32 to 39. Short break, we're gonna get that in. All right, break over, let's get back to it. Right, another 12 done. This was much closer to real working weight. I had maybe 2, maybe 3 reps in reserve, which is fine. You don't want to go too hard, especially after a break. That's one warm-up set. Another set, which is sort of a weight ladder, not a real working set, and one more here. So I'm gonna get another one in after a short break, same weight. It's probably gonna be a bit closer to failure, maybe 1 to 2 reps in reserve. And that's gonna be it for the lat pull downs. We're probably gonna move to some legs. One last set. Definitely much closer to failure. Maybe 1, maybe 2 reps in reserve. Good enough stimulus. Got 1 warm-up set, 1 lighter working set, and 2 actual proper working sets. For the first day back, it's definitely going to be enough. So, looking around, the leg press machine has just been occupied, so I'll have to give up on that. Probably leg extensions next. I'm gonna start relatively light, 48 kilograms, warm weight. Whew. 20 reps done. The thing about the leg extension machine is that no matter what the weight is, as long as you get a decent amount of reps in, it's gonna burn. It's gonna burn a lot. For the second set, I'm gonna go with slightly heavier weight, 66 kilograms, closer to working, so we're not gonna be going with 20 reps again. We're just gonna go with 12, see how light or heavy it ends up being. 12 reps done. Definitely a lot heavier. The quads don't really get any activation outside of targeted workouts, so the break is really noticeable here. I was working my way through the stack before the break, and now I do see quite a lot of progress was lost in a relatively small amount of time. But it is what it is. Just gonna have to work hard and get everything I lost back. That said, 66 for 12. I think I still have a bit more in the tank. Not gonna overdo it. Usually I jump 2 plates, but this time I'm only gonna jump 1. 75, that's a nice number. Short break, and we're gonna get to it. Hello. I got interrupted a bit by a phone call. One last set. Time to free it up. And to move out. The leg extensions were in surprisingly high demand. 2 people were waiting for me to wrap it up. Time to take a short break somewhere further away from all the machines. I'm gonna use this as an excuse. I'm gonna log every set I've done so far and go back to training after. One of the things that has kept me out of the gym in the past is sadly my cardiovascular system is not in the best shape, which means when my body is not used to exercise, any significant exertion will immediately lead to nausea and other similar symptoms. The good news is I've realized after a couple days of consistent exercise, it goes away. It's really hard to tell what the exact issue is. I've experimented, I tried everything. The only thing that does work is working out consistently for a couple of days, and eventually the system just gets used to it. I think it must have something to do with just the shock of exercise, right? Because it returns after a couple days without exercise. It returns. The body evidently just gets used to the lower effort lifestyle, and then any sort of exertion after that point causes this weird reaction, which is really hard to get around. It's really uncomfortable. So today is going to be rough. It's going to take a while to adapt. I'm going to have to take slightly longer breaks, I'm afraid, to let the nausea pass whenever it appears. It's a good opportunity for me to talk about why I go to the gym at all. I didn't grow up to be the sort of person that would go to the gym consistently. I didn't grow up to be the sort of person to like sports and spend a lot of time outside. I grew up to be actually quite the opposite. Definitely an indoor person. At least that's where my comfort zone lays. But I'm not only an indoor person, but also the kind of person that spends a lot of time in their own head thinking about stuff, not necessarily in the real world, but more in my own imagination. And with time it became impossible to ignore all the benefits of exercise and all the downsides of a sedentary lifestyle. So on multiple occasions I tried to get into the lifestyle, and it was hard. It was very hard. Failed a couple times. First, I tried to go to a commercial gym, went for a while, ran into the problems I was describing, the nausea, the constant exhaustion, nearly fainting on a couple occasions. Eventually had to stop going. Then I returned to the gym for a while when I was attending university. We had physical education at the university. I chose muscle building, gym exercises, whatever. And and I attended every single week. I think 2 or 3 times a week. I attended the university gym classes, you could say. We had a workout split prepared by one of the professors, and I would just do whatever was on the whiteboard. Wasn't the best experience, to be honest. It was nice to have some reason to go, at regular intervals, but the split itself was relatively unsatisfying. It was a lot of technical stuff without much without much effort put into the mental satisfaction side of it. The truth is, in the gym, ego lifting is probably the most enjoyable thing one can do, and in that setting that was not really possible. It wasn't possible to even like slightly approach the the level of ego lifting. My punishment for the break I took from the gym is my water container has been sitting for a little bit, and now the water tastes slightly wonky. Definitely not helping with the nausea and the motivation, but it is what it is. It's a small punishment for a lack of consistency. I'll clean it tomorrow, and hopefully it's not gonna get in my way again. So anyways, it became really difficult to ignore the benefits of exercise and the downsides of the sedentary lifestyle. And obviously there's a lot of stuff. There's basic strength and health and ability that you improve by going to the gym. If a friend ever asks you to move furniture, you're going to be much better equipped to help them out. But everybody knows that stuff. There's a lot of benefits which people are less familiar with. One of the good examples is one of the best preventive measures one can take against cancer is actually building muscle mass. Surprisingly, muscle mass is one of the best defenses against cancer available to us. Daily or at least regular exercise obviously has a lot of mental benefits as well. It helps you build discipline, which is something that I personally am very interested in because it's something I struggle with. It's something I think I should put more value on. It's something that will help me in achieving my personal goals, fitness and otherwise. I'm thinking about how the rest of the workout is going to play out, and I'm thinking that honestly this water is holding me back. It tastes so weird, and it probably doesn't have any real effect on my health, but it definitely is pretty demotivating. So I only got 7 sets in, 10 minutes of cardio, 7 sets, 4 sets of lat pull downs, 3 sets of leg extensions, and thinking about all the other exercises I have to go. Most of my workouts land somewhere in between 15 to 25 sets. With how much more work I have to do, I honestly don't want to be bothered by the water, so I'm gonna go down to the lobby, buy myself some water, maybe swap out the batteries in the camera just so I don't have to worry about that anymore. And I think right after that I'm gonna do some bicep exercises, some arms, maybe pec flies if they're open. Alright, got some fresh water. The pec fly machine is busy, as are most other machines, to be honest. However, the one that was open is my favorite. The leg press. Despite the break, we're gonna start relatively heavy, which is gonna be 118 kilograms, 260 pounds. That's gonna be warm-up weight. Fast, 20 reps. Form wasn't perfect, could have definitely had a lot more depth, but can't have everything. To be honest, on this machine I find it relatively difficult to hit proper depth. Most of the time I have to do relatively shallow reps. I don't know if it's a matter of my flexibility or my strength, but it is what it is. That said, 118 kilograms, 20 reps, relatively light work. Definitely a couple reps in reserve. Just a short break, not even 2 minutes probably. We're gonna move up 2 plates up to 136 kilograms. Definitely not working weight yet, but we are gonna go down to 12 reps, and just so we don't put too much fatigue on the muscles. And then after another short break, we're gonna move up again. Gonna try, since I'm doing fewer reps this time, I'm gonna try to go for a bit more depth. Felt it a bit more. Wouldn't call it heavy, but had to actually watch the form this time because couldn't just throw the weight around. 136 kilograms, 300 pounds for 12. I'm gonna take a slightly longer rest, and after that we can move to 154. Not gonna overstay the rest. I'm gonna keep pushing. I'm gonna get through this quickly because I still want to do at least one more set after this. Heavier weight to be expected after a break. That was 154 kilograms, 340 pounds for 12. I'd like to say that 340 pounds, 154 kilograms was lightweight, because it should have been, to be honest, but it wasn't. Needed to put a bit of effort in. Before the break, I was able to do essentially any weight on the leg press with relative ease. Maxing it out was still a bit difficult, but if I pushed myself hard, I could have definitely gotten like 15, maybe 18 reps. But now the 12 at 154 was pretty difficult. I'd have to take a longer break and then watch my form on the next set, because the next set is full stack, 172 kilograms, 380 pounds. This is what I meant when I said that my upper body is lagging behind my lower body. I guess being obese has some benefits, and one of them is the legs. You actually have them, unlike most people. The downside is you likely don't have anything else, and you sound like a dying dog after a marathon, even though you've barely done anything so far. Honestly, feel relatively well rested, so I'm gonna try to go for it. Not gonna be playing hero. I'll see how many reps I can do. I'm expecting somewhere between 8 to 10. If I can do 12, I'm gonna be happy. That's gonna mean I've maintained this, certain level of proficiency despite the break. I'd be very happy if that was indeed the case. Got 8. Not the cleanest reps, but I'm not in the best form either. So I'm gonna have to be satisfied with what I got. I'm gonna have to call it a day on the leg press, move on to something else. Gonna be relatively hard to record this exercise with how the machine is positioned on the floor, but it is what it is. The big fly machine is open, so that's what we're gonna do. Starting with light warm-up weight of 27 kilograms. Alright, that's the warm-up set done. I'm gonna be honest, I am not sure quite how many I've done. I'm hoping it was 20, but since I lost count, I won't know until I review the footage. Either way, well, a set was done. The big fly machine is definitely one of the more fun ones. It's just, I don't know, I think it's the movement. It's you can put relatively high weight on it compared to some of the other exercises because it targets some relatively large muscle groups. It's I'm afraid in my case, especially since I don't have the perfect form, it's more of a compound exercise than a targeted chest exercise. So compared to something like tricep extensions, where to maintain the form I need to keep the weight really low, I can actually go a bit higher on this one, and that's always satisfying, you know. I'm afraid talking all the time really makes recovery a lot more difficult. Alright, people are getting impatient. I guess I'm not the only one that likes this machine, so let's get another one in quickly. Had a short break. This time, last set was 41 for 12. This time we're working with 59, which is a lot closer to my maximum working weight from before the break. So we'll see how much I can actually get done. Aiming for 12. Form was a bit iffy, especially at the end, but we got 12 in. That's good. I'm gonna have to call it a day for this machine. Now, would be nice to hunt ourselves some bicep cables. Right, I'm gonna start off lighter. Actually very light. Let's go 23 to start with. It's just cable bicep curls, nothing special, but it's been a while. Arms have already gotten a bit of a workout. Definitely don't want to go straight back to working weight after a longer break. All right. That was 23 kilograms for, I believe, 12, just to get the blood pumping. Gonna rest for a bit and get closer to working weight. Alright, I think the break was long enough. As out of shape as I am, I can't really spend much more on just resting. 32 kilograms for 12, a bit harder than before, probably 2 reps in reserve. Alright, I'm gonna call that 7.5, although I don't think it was. It was 41 kilograms. Clearly just a bit too ambitious, considering how much weaker my upper body is compared to my lower. I get a slightly higher angle because next machine doesn't really look amazing from below. I'm gonna go for some leg curls. $35 kilograms to start with. I'm gonna go warm up, so 20 reps. Can't make the breaks too long or it falsifies the actual performance. Let's go up to 49 this time. Not gonna go for 20, gonna go for 12. The one big downside of this machine is it makes you look like a wet dog, especially if you have hair the same length as me. Much less control on the legs than I thought I had. Just to be expected. Could have actually probably went a bit slower on those reps and still going to the 12 in. Too late now. If I remember correctly, 58 was my record for controlled 12 reps. Before the break, 63 was iffy, so we're gonna go up to 54 and it should still be possible. I'm actually impressed that the camera is still recording. Usually by now it would have overheated. Maybe the relatively frequent breaks and the fresh battery helped it out a bit. Let's see it. One more set. Alright. Not the cleanest, but it will have to do. That was 54 for 12. Or at least I have to pretend it was. Right, let's see what else is available. The calf raise machine, which I was hoping to mess around with, is taken. I'm gonna use it. It's gonna be a good excuse. We're gonna do some cardio. We're gonna dip. Because quite frankly, I've had enough. For today at least. I'm gonna go light today. Usually I'd spend the 10, 15, 20 minutes, however much I'll be doing here, on my phone, but I've left my headphones in the locker room, trying to be a bit more present, a bit more active, a bit more focused. So I'm gonna have to suffer through the exit cardio with just the clock, which is probably the worst thing you could be looking at when doing cardio. It's the least motivating thing. You look at it and it's, by default, it's counting down from 60 minutes. And honestly, 60 minutes of cardio would kill me. I don't think I could do it. Definitely not at any reasonable RPM or resistance level. Since it's supposed to be, cool down, exit cardio, I'm not gonna go up to 90 RPM like I did on the entry cardio. I'm gonna keep it light enough so that I can speak actually, which I have been doing. Currently we're at 75 RPM. Let's see what the heart rate is like. Currently the heart rate is around 130. Already got a minute and a half done, which is good progress. Not much else, not much more to go. At least that's what you have to tell yourself. So a bit above 85 RPM. The heart rate is 135. 5 minutes has just passed. At the moment of its passing, the distance was about 1.75 kilometers. I'm gonna keep going, probably for 10 minutes total. Got about 30 seconds left. RPM is hovering a bit above 90. Heart rate is at 145. Got 15 seconds to go. RPM a bit above 95. Heart rate a bit above 145. RPM a bit above 95. Heart rate a bit above 145. 10 minutes. Final distance 3.75 kilometers. And that'll be it. Nothing special. It was a low resistance level of 4. However, I think today was already hard enough for the first day back, so I'm not gonna beat myself up too much over going light on the exit cardio, because I still have to get home, and I already put in a couple sets of leg work, so 20 minutes of total cardio for the day will have to be enough. Definitely suboptimal for weight loss, which I need, to be honest. But we're gonna start working on it a bit more intensely from here on out. Probably gonna have to wrap up the recording before I exit and before I enter the locker room. I think that's pushing it privacy-wise. And I'll record something at home, probably voiceover mostly. So see you then.